From working as an MMA fighter to building a $35,000 tennis court, these are the 10 times Beckham Jr. shocked the world. And at number 10, Beckham Jr. supports a football club that gets on his father's nerves. As a member of the famous class of '92, David Beckham was part of the elite group of players trained, molded, and succeeded at Manchester United. At the peak of his career, he was undoubtedly the Red Devils' star player, having played 392 games for the club, scored 85 goals, given 121 assists, and won 6 Premier League titles, amongst many other achievements. He is, without a doubt, a Manchester United legend. For a man deeply rooted in Manchester United, we all expected his family to breathe and live the Red Devils, which is the case, except for his son, Romeo Beckham. Beckham Jr. is a huge fan of one of his dad's biggest rivals, Arsenal. In 2012, Beckham said, "I tried to get Manchester United shirts on them early, but Romeo is an Arsenal fan." And since Beckham didn't want to be an imposing father, he allowed his son to support the team that he liked. He went even further to take Romeo to an Arsenal game. There, they met Arsene Wenger, who treated the young kid well and even gave him a shirt with his name and favorite number on it. Since then, his support for Arsenal has become even more public. He was seen taking pictures with Mesut Ozil and Lucas Torreira, and he has a signed Giroud jersey hanging in his room. But his love for Arsenal didn't just end as a fan. He was signed into the youth system at the club, alongside his brothers Brooklyn and Cruz. However, when Arsenal released his brother Brooklyn from their academy, he decided he wanted to leave too. But leaving Arsenal in solidarity with his brother wasn't crazy enough for him. He took things a step further by doing something insane. In 2015, David Beckham was quoted saying, "The other day, Romeo turned round to me and said he didn't want to play football anymore." Beckham's son doesn't want to play football again? That must be a joke or something. But the kid was serious. The split from Arsenal Academy had taken its toll on him. He simply didn't feel it anymore. But being a supportive father as always, Beckham said, "Part of me was devastated, but part of me was relieved too. He's got other passions, and I like that." So when he asked Romeo what he wanted to do, the kid shouted, "Tennis." Switching from football to tennis sounded crazy, but Romeo Beckham was determined to remain a top-level athlete, so he trained seriously to become a tennis player at the Queen's Club in West Kensington, London. To further accelerate his development, his father, David Beckham, got professional tennis players Andy Murray and Grigor Dimitrov to give him private lessons. In an interview with Hello Magazine, Dimitrov said, "Every time I'm in London, I try to train with him. It's something that I enjoy. Romeo is such a big tennis fan. He's quite crafty, to be honest, and pretty talented. So if he keeps going the same way, he will go far." Hearing such reviews from Dimitrov motivated David Beckham to splash the cash on what comes at number 8. Excited by her son's newfound love, Victoria Beckham successfully persuaded her husband David to build a tennis court for their son at their $6 million home in the Cotswolds. She told her husband she wanted to make Romeo the David Beckham of tennis. So after 5 months of work and a $35,000 bill, an artificial grass court was erected, giving Romeo all the time and space to practice to be the best. With the kid now having his own professional court, he was pictured training with former British number 2 Kyle Edmund and former women's number 1 tennis player Simona Halep and Caroline Wozniacki. But despite this significant progress in tennis, Beckham Jr. was also trying his hand at other sports. Since he was a child, Romeo loved to hang out with his father. And since David liked golf, he quickly developed an interest in it too. They would go to the golf course together, take wild swings, and enjoy the greenery. However, when Romeo lost interest in football, he briefly considered golfing professionally. But after watching that, I don't think golf is his calling. Maybe something else. Like MMA. Yes, Romeo Beckham has been seen practicing his jiu-jitsu skills in the gym, not forgetting he also plays basketball. It's safe to say he's an all-rounder, but perhaps what fits him best is what comes next. During his playing days, David Beckham became the first footballer whose popularity transcended his footballing ability. His good looks, nice hair, and great physique made him one of the hottest models on earth. His off-field activities made him extremely popular, affecting his relationship with his manager, Sir Alex Ferguson. Crowned underwear model of the century, Beckham sought out an equally popular and attractive woman as his wife. he married Victoria, a member of the famous pop group Spice Girls, who was also a fashion designer and model. Having such people as parents meant that Romeo had been bombarded by many modeling gigs from a young age. The big brands had been calling his mother for years, but she let him be since he wasn't interested. But after he quit football, he decided to give modeling a chance. He signed for St. Laurent, headlining their fall-winter collection, and then was on the cover of L'Uomo Vogue's Generation issue. And with that, we've made it to our top 5. From here on, it's going to be the craziest times Romeo Beckham shocked the world, starting with another insane career switch. After spending so much time at home during the 2020 COVID lockdown, Beckham woke up one morning and told his dad, "I want to resume playing football." What the hell? David Beckham couldn't believe it. After spending thousands of dollars to create a clear path for him in tennis, Romeo wanted nothing to do with it anymore. "Surely this must be a joke," Beckham said, but the kid was dead serious. So an excited David Beckham set out to reintroduce his son to football. The first thing he did was bulldoze the $35,000 tennis court and order the construction of a state-of-the-art five-a-side pitch in its place. After the construction was done, Beckham opted to personally train Romeo to get him back to his previous best. They would play kick-ups together, practice free kicks, and do all sorts of drills. So when he was sure Romeo was ready, he called in a few favors to get his son his first football contract, a move that completely changed the kid's life. In September of 2021, having been away from football for 5 years, Romeo Beckham signed a contract with Fort Lauderdale CF, a club competing in the United Soccer League 1. By doing so, he became the first member of the Beckham family to sign a professional football contract. His new team played in the third tier of U.S. soccer and functioned as the reserve team of sister club Inter Miami. But having not played football for a long while, many fans expected him to be rusty on his debut. Boy, were they wrong. In a game against Orlando City, Beckham Junior fired in a free kick, reminiscent of his father's playing days. But he wasn't the only son of an ex-England player that day. He played against Harvey Neville, the son of Phil Neville, who was the Inter Miami coach at the time. His time in the U.S., however, was short-lived, because in October 2022, he started training with Brentford's B team, and in January 2023, he joined the club on a 6-month loan. This shocked fans. Why would he want to leave his father's team to go to a totally different country? But Romeo wanted to forge his own path, far from the shadows of his illustrious father. But that would be difficult, because Romeo didn't just look like his father, he played like him too. During David Beckham's playing days, he was regarded as a highly technical and efficient winger, but perhaps his greatest asset was his free kick-taking ability. He used to bend the ball with precision, hence the moniker, "Bend It Like Beckham." And it's obvious he has passed that gene on to Romeo. Just look at this free kick technique. If he keeps this up, we might have a reincarnation of David Beckham. But free kicks aren't the only thing Romeo has learned from his dad. The boy has developed a taste for supermodels too. In 2019, the rumor started circulating that Romeo was dating Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown. But that rumor was false, as Beckham Jr. announced via his Instagram that he was in a relationship with Mia Reagan. The beautiful young girl is also a model, managed by Storm Modeling. She is featured for Marc Jacobs, Chaos, and Balmain. She's also a video editor, photographer, and brand influencer. It seems Romeo has copied his father's template in women, multi-talented models who can stand independently. However, after 3 years of dating, the couple split in the summer of 2022, but got back together later that year. Then, in February 2024, they split up again, but this time for good. Maybe he didn't copy his father's template, because David and Victoria have been married since 1999. But one thing that cannot be taken away from Romeo is the insane connections he has in the world of sports and entertainment. Having a father like David Beckham opens a world of possibilities for Romeo. The kid has had access to many celebrities throughout his entire life. He might not have claimed to be an influencer, but a quick browse of his Instagram page will give you an idea of his range. He's taken pictures with Paul Pogba and Bukayo Saka, and even got a birthday present of a signed boot from Zinedine Zidane. At such a young age, He already has the charisma and personality to become a superstar. Even if he doesn't make it in football, he can follow many career paths that would make him super successful. His influence, however, doesn't just end in football. He was pictured hanging out with NFL legend Tom Brady. He was also courtside at an LA Lakers game. But as shocking as Beckham Jr.'s lifestyle is, it is nothing compared to what Ronaldo Jr. has been up to lately. I'm talking about a $500,000 wristwatch and a haircut that costs $5,000. Click on the next video to see the 20 times Ronaldo Jr. shocked the world.